Good day everyone, we're Group 2 and today we will discuss about the trials and pilot studies, focusing on regulatory trials, pilot studies, follow-ups, and adherence. So we will discuss this because these are key parts of our research that ensures the validity, the safety, and the success in clinical investigations. So, clinical trials. So, clinical trials are the backbone of evidence-based medicine. So, they are designed to test the effectiveness and the safetiness of new treatments before they can be approved for public use.
Before human testing, the drugs undergo preclinical studies in laboratories and animals to assess toxicity and safety. Then comes the four main phases of clinical trials. Phase 1 focuses on safety and includes only a few healthy volunteers. Phase 2 these studies dose and tolerability in small randomized groups. Phase 3 evaluates efficacy and safety on a large scale through blinded randomized controlled trials. Finally, phase 4. This happens after the approval of the drug. This detects the rare and long-term side effects of the drug. It is also called post-marketing surveillance. Clinical trials must follow good clinical practice. This is an international, ethical, and scientific standard that protects human subjects and ensure data quality. The trials are done for FDA and other regulatory approvals, not only for new drugs, but also for new uses of existing ones. For example, in menopausal hot flush trials, the FDA requires measurable endpoints like reducing daily hot flashes, and the approval of these drugs depends on showing clear improvement over the placebo. Even after approval, the phase 4 trials continue monitoring the safety in general population. The common pitfalls include misunderstanding of the goal of each of the phases of clinical trials, or ignoring the updated FDA guidelines. Remember, phase 1 means safety, not efficacy, and phase 4 focuses on long-term monitoring. Remember the order: safety, dose, efficacy, and post-approval. We must also remember who regulates the clinical guidelines and why it is important.
So now let's move on to pilot studies. So what are pilot studies? Pilot studies is a small-scale preliminary trial conducted before the full-scale clinical trial is done. Its purpose is to test the feasibility of the design, the logistics, and recruitment before launching a costly main study. So that is what we call a pilot study.
Designing a good trial requires knowing the type, the dose, duration, feasibility, expected effects, and side effects of an intervention. Pilot studies help gather these informations early to prevent design errors. The first objective is assessing feasibility. This means checking if recruitment, randomization, and data collection processes actually works. It answers questions like, can we really recruit enough participants? And will they show through? For example, in a pilot study of hypertension lifestyle program, only 60% of participants actually completed all sessions. That feedback alone showed poor adherence early. This prevents failure in larger trials. Next is defining the optimal intervention. Determining the best type, dose, and duration maximizes benefit while minimizing toxicity. For example, in an asthma pilot study, 60 patients were assigned to three different doses. The mid-level dose achieved high efficacy with fewer side effects. This helps refine the main trial's treatment protocol. The third objective is estimating parameters like control event rates, effect sizes, and variability. These values are used to calculate the correct sample size for the main trial. For example, in myocardial infarction recurrence, a pilot estimating heart attack recurrence found only 5% recurrence instead of 10. This realistic data ensures that the main trial wouldn't be underpowered. Many trials lack power because event rates are lower than expected or participants are healthier than average. To fix this, review prior placebo studies or include placebo group in the pilot study to estimate realistic values. Every pilot study must still include a short but complete IRB-approved protocol, data collection forms, and a clear analysis plan to maintain scientific rigor.
Follow-up and adherence are crucial for ensuring the validity and credibility of the study. Poor adherence or high loss of follow-up can cause bias and even weaken the reliability of the results. Next, we'll look up on what are the key strategies to improve adherence and maintain follow-up.
One strategy is to choose adherent participants, people who are likely to comply. Use pre-randomization visits or run-in periods to identify and exclude likely dropouts. Next is to simplify the intervention. Prefer single daily doses, easy to follow routines, or treatments integrated into daily life to make adherence effortless. Make the study visits convenient. Offer flexible schedules, allow remote data collection, reimburse travel costs, and minimize waiting time. This convenience encourages retention of the participants. Improve participant experience by keeping interactions positive. Provide results, counseling, newsletters, or small appreciation gifts. Engaged participants are more committed. Always maintain complete follow-up even if participants stop treatment. Collect alternate contact information, and emphasize during consent how vital follow-up is for research accuracy.
Okay, to summarize, regulatory trials confirm the safetiness and effectiveness of the study, while pilot studies test for the feasibility and it improves its design, while follow-up and adherence protect the research credibility. Together, they ensure the trustworthiness and evidence-based clinical science. Thank you for listening.